The Sorek Valley was the main route for the first railway in the Middle East from Jerusalem to the Mediterranean Sea, and is mentioned in the Bible as being the place of frequent battle between the Jewish people and the Philistines. On a part of a ridge of this fertile valley, a center called Neve Shalom stands, meaning Oasis of Peace. The objective of the center is to be a place for Palestinians and Jews to live together, that today boasts 30 years of activity. The center was the setting for a recent final workshop on leadership promoted by the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, an organization that works to promote education for peace in the Middle East.
The main idea is training young people, students from high schools, from Jordan, Israel and the Palestinian territories to become leaders of change inside their own societies and to transform their societies into more peaceful, more tolerant societies than what they are today. And the whole idea behind it is that we start with a bottom-up approach of training a younger generation that still has hope and still believes in change for the region. And it's a project that is independently conducted in the 3 countries. And this kind of workshops is like the climax of the project every year. This is actually the first cross-border workshop for students that we're doing in the project. We have a follow-up so that the students will build up a network. We have a great website where we have an internal part where the students can be in touch throughout the next 2 years and share their ideas so that they feel that they know that, okay, on the other side of the border, students like me are doing the same thing. And the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung in general works with the concept of sharing common goals. Because we have learned that during the very complicated political times we're in today, talking about politics in order to find a compromise, it's not so useful at the moment.
Those who sow with perseverance and commitment today allow for others to gather the fruits in the future. We firmly believe that these young people represent the future and will be tomorrow's leaders. Therefore, if we desire to see peace in these lands, we must begin with educating and promoting peace among the new generations. These young people, who belong to very different cultures and religions, have undertaken a journey together, and some of them have really understood the meaning and value of this encounter.
Our teachers told us about it, and we joined in.
Yeah, they told us about what's going to be in the project, who we're going to meet, and we said, all right, this sounds great to meet other people from other countries, from Palestine and Jordan, and my expectations to know another persons in my age with different تربويات.
Yeah,
cultures.
I was looking forward to meet new people and to connect and to find out what is their perspective of life and like to get to know their thinking and what they think about us and like to overcome stereotypes.
Our teachers asked for us to explain what is the project and what it's talking about and who we meet and something like that. And I think after this meet with the Arabs guys, it's the first time that we meet them. So I think it will be different from our talk in the past.
Although living in the same city, it is possible to be very distant. The encounter is no less important for those who live in Jerusalem. I came here to get new ideas, to hear other people's opinions, and to learn from other young people coming from cultures that are very different from my own. The presence of 20 young people from Jordan, together with 6 of their leaders, is an achievement that brings hope. It is the first time that they are able to participate in the encounter with their peers. I am originally Palestinian, and I was given the opportunity to return to my homeland, something which is not usually possible. I have not been able to return to my village, and I didn't see it on my way here, on the bus either. My dream was to pray in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and thanks be to God, we were able to do just that.
كان حلمي يعني إنه أصلي في الأقصى، وصلينا الحمد لله امبارح المغرب في جامع الأقصى الحمد لله.
The initiative to promote peace is not to be understood in a political sense only. The formation is broader and closer to home. It includes also themes of violence in the schools, stadiums, xenophobia, and any other type of discrimination and hatred. I am working on this project because, having lived for many years in Israel, I am firmly convinced that one of the most important areas that we can use is the educational curriculum, and especially in the promotion of peace, cohabitation, and coexistence among peoples. We live in a very complex region with many kinds of conflicts, be they religious, political, cultural. It is essential that people succeed in breaking down barriers in order to create a new reality, especially here in the Middle East. This project includes all of these elements. Of course, promoting peace is not necessary only in the Middle East. There are also other places in the world that suffer tension and feel the need for peace. Peace promotion has become a science, and that is why it can give its contribution of results and fruits to the Middle East.
I come from a company in Norway called Human Factors, where we have been developing a special type of exercise and tool, and a tool called Diversity Icebreaker. And it's an exercise that basically builds trust between people when you gather them from very different backgrounds. So we thought 3-4 years ago that we will try to use this kind of exercise in the Middle East related to the situation of conflict between nations and cultures here. And started out 3 years ago doing research together with people here. And gradually we documented that the tool and the process of 1 hour, it worked very much the same way here as it did back home in Norway, and in other countries we have been using it.
This encounter began with a theater performance, as art is a privileged channel in promoting peace. In fact, it gives shape and expression to deep realities, and therefore helps in identifying, reflecting on, understanding, finding solutions. Theater has proved to be particularly helpful in the formation of young people. Israel is made up of many elements, people, history. While watching the theater, I began to understand a little more of the others. I thought about things that are bigger than myself. We also brought the theater to Italy, and it is always very emotional to hear the people's reaction afterwards. Everywhere we go, people reflect, and afterwards we hear, it is clear that this performance is about the conflict between Jews and Arabs. When we performed in Galilee, the people said that it speaks about the conflicts that exist between the lay kibbutz and the religious moshal. In Italy, we heard people say that it speaks about immigrants, and in America, they told us that it speaks about the conflict between the white people and the people of color. After only a few short hours that these young people are together, the first fruits can be seen.
I think in the whole world, everybody looking of Israel like a violent country with a violent army, and I don't think that it's like really like that. Actually, we are here, love each other, and it's all politic, and all the high people in the government, they are actually take the decisions, and after all, we are children. We want just peace and to love each other, and we are here with the other children from the other countries, and we are like there is no difference between us.
More than offering debates and discussions, the workshops offer the young people the opportunity to recognize the differences in their neighbor and to interiorize them, so that they will be a spring of enrichment and not of conflict.
One thing I have to say is a sentence that I think is really wise. It says, "Don't judge a book by its cover." I think it's a really good sentence in this situation. Not all opinions are true, and sometimes you have to look past things that are said to really know something and really understand something.
Io trovo che ognuno
For me, every person has one or more internal conflicts, and I think that this theater performance opens the door and poses a question so that we can see that there are other ways of listening to one another, other ways of understanding one another, of accepting the differences, and of embracing and understanding. All this opens up a new horizon for us, so that we can see new things that otherwise we would not have known.
non avremmo conosciuto.